Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do another beginner guide, and this one has been requested a couple of times, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this one out there, but this is going to be a beginner's guide to Ultima weapons. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what Ultima weapons are, how to obtain them, best strategies for like which ones to grind out first, all that kind of stuff. Part of the reason I waited until now to do it is because we recently got the dismantling system, and I kind of wanted to talk about that in the guide. So now that dismantling is out, we can talk about that as well, right? So basically what Ultima weapons are, they are the most powerful weapons in the game. So I'm going to show you guys how to make them and how to get them. So first, to find the area to make Ultima weapons, you need to go into the enhancements tab, and you need to go, so there's a section here called relics, and you have cast, sublimate, and you have dismantle, which is a new tab that was added in. So if we go into cast and sublimate, this is going to be the Ultima weapons. So Ultima weapons, they're all here, and basically there's one weapon for each typing in the game. To cast your first weapon or to create it, you need 50 Ultima Cores. So you see at the top, I currently have 40 Ultima Cores, and they cost 50 to start. Now you'll notice that some of mine cost 150 to start. Basically, you only get the first weapon for 50. Any additional ones will cost 150. My recommendation would be to cast, to not get dupes of a weapon until you've cast at least one copy of each one, but that's totally going to be up to you, okay? Now, the big thing is, you know, some people like to buy like one copy of each one and then just have like a bunch of different weapons spread around. Some people, though, like to fully max theirs out, and I'm kind of in that camp. So if we go to my Sublimate tab, this is what a maxed out Ultima weapon looks like. They have 5 levels that you can sublimate them, and that's basically like putting dupes in, okay? Now, there are some mistakes people have made that you can definitely fix now that we have dismantling, so I'll talk about that in a second. But basically what happens is choose the first weapon you want to make, and just so you guys know, it's not like burst weapons or LDs where only certain characters get effects from them or can equip them. These are not unique to any character. Literally, as long as the character is the weapon type, any character should be able to equip it. So what you need to think about when choosing your first one is figuring out either if there's like an absolute favorite character that you want to max out, that's one route you could go, or you look at which weapon has a lot of coverage among units that you can get a lot of use out of, okay? So if you're looking for like what's the best like first weapons to get that has a lot of units, I would say like the single-handed sword is probably one of the best ones. I think the heavy blade has a lot of coverage, and then I feel like the unique weapon here at the bottom, that's another good one. The one I would recommend the least would probably be like whips. Like there's literally, I think, only like 2 or 3 whip characters in the game right now. So like you're not really going to get a lot of use out of that unless you are just like a diehard Rydia fan or Quistis fan. I really wouldn't go for whips, but there have been people that have done that, right? So if you like a character, always go for it. So for me, you can see the first 2 weapons I did do Dagger first. And that wasn't because Dagger has a lot of coverage. It's because Locke is like my favorite character, or one of my favorite characters, because Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game. So actually, both of mine were based off of favorites, because like Terra is my favorite actual character from Final Fantasy VI, and then Locke is also one of my favorites. So I did Dagger and then Single-Handed Sword. Single-Handed Sword, though, has a lot of coverage. So right now you can see Vaughn has it equipped, but I could also give it to, I've been using it on Ramza as well, because Ramza is in a lot of my team comps. So think of like what characters you're going to be using the most, and then you'll get the most out of your Ultima weapons. Now, when you equip an Ultima weapon to a character, even like a base weapon, like when you buy just the base weapon for 50, you don't have to level it up, you don't have to put orbs in it, it's just done. And the base weapon with 0 out of 5 sublimates is still stronger than a green burst in terms of stats. So it is still worth putting on any character. Just keep in mind that when you equip an Ultima weapon to a character, don't like sell their old weapon, because if you want to move, think of an Ultima weapon as a weapon that you shift around quite a bit. That's why I recommend like don't like actually cast dupes of them, because unless you're going to be doing multiple units of that same weapon type and you really want them to have the Ultima weapon, then you really aren't going to need it, because you can just pass the weapon off to different people. As I said before, my single-handed sword, I passed it between Vaughn, Ramza, Terra, like just any character I'm running for a mission. If I want them to look better, I'll just throw that weapon on there, but I keep their other weapons intact, okay? So that's the other thing I would recommend there. So let's say you cast something wrong. Because here's one of the big mistakes, right? So what you do is you cast the weapon first for 50, and then to actually improve it, you have to sublimate it. What some people have done, because a sublimate costs 150 cores. Okay, so what you do is you go to the sublimate page, you click on it, and then you actually sublimate it there, and then that's what actually, like, basically, essentially, it's like putting a dupe into it. It's very similar to that, right? And all the stats just go up and get a lot better. There were people when it first came out that they actually cast a second copy of that weapon, and then they thought they had to feed it in as a dupe, and that's not how it works. So luckily for those people that accidentally cast an extra copy, you can get those cores back. So what's nice is we have this dismantling option, okay? So dismantling, when we go into it, they have a little demo page on here, but you can only dismantle once per month. So you can't just spam this. You have to be aware that you should only use this to either fix a mistake or if you want to trade off a weapon, right? So let's say at the time I casted Locke's dagger, right? Locke was really good. Locke's still really good, right? I'm not going to like just actually dismantle these, but let's say you got dagger and then those characters that had the dagger at the time now aren't as relevant and there isn't like many good dagger characters out. So you could literally dismantle it and you get your full refund. So 800 Ultima Cores is what it costs to fully buy a weapon and Sublimate level 5 it if you're buying the first copy. So 800 is what you need. It's a pretty big number, so it takes some time to do, right? Don't expect to get this done day one. So if you want a refund, that's how you do it. So obviously the next big question that people are going to ask is how do I get Ultima Cores, right? So there's a couple of ways to get it. One is through paid means and the other is free-to-play means. The free-to-play means do take a little bit longer, right? But if I go to my mission tab here, with every new event that comes out, there are missions here, and you'll see that there's the little gold ticket next to them, and I get 10 cores for each one that I do. So that's if you buy the premium Mog Pass. So that's really how they're selling premium Mog Pass. I was always a normal Mog Pass person because I didn't really need, like, I didn't care about the extra tokens and stuff that you used to get. But now that they added the Ultima Cores in there, that actually was something that convinced me to go up to premium Mog Pass. So you get a lot of extra ones there because every new event you get, like, I think 20 extra cores, which is a pretty big jump considering how many you need and how slow you get them. The main way you get Ultima Cores, which can be done free to play, is if you go into, we'll just go back to the home page here. And from the home page, you're going to see Ultima missions there on the right above the panel missions. So if I go to Ultima missions, this is the standard way all players will get their Ultima Cores. Is that basically every character, when they get their C90, you get 10 cores for making them level 90, and then you also get 10 cores for defeating a Lufenia fight with them, okay? So let's say I've got all mine done, you can see here, but there's a lot of cores you can earn, and there is no time limit on these, so you can just take your time and get them done. So if you're a new player just hopping in, if you just go ahead and get all these characters, or you have all these characters, maybe you're a returning player and you have all these characters, you just have to go in and like buff them up to 90 and beat a Lufenia with them in your party. You can get these. Now there is a limit on the Lufenia, right? So if you go in, let's say I want to do Seymour's, right? Oh, actually they're not going to let me. So I'll have to explain this, but normally what would happen is from this page, I could click on a character that hadn't done a Lufenia and it brings up a list and it will actually show you any Lufenia that you can complete and get the quest. And a Lufenia or a Lufenia Plus will complete it. The thing is, though, is each Lufenia quest has 3 slots that can be used for characters. So once those slots are filled, you can't just keep running the same one to get Ultima Cores. And the reason why is they know that there are some that are way easier than others. And they don't want you just running into the same one every time to get your cores. Some people I know are like really want to try to maximize this, and they like to try to do like the newest Lufenia, because not every Lufenia is permanent, right? Like some of these event ones that come out, the only ones that are permanent are like the Lost Chapter ones, the Story Chapter ones, and the Intersecting Wills ones. Those will all be permanent. But your standard like new character ones, like when Anna Crow came out, like that one won't come back until her Lost Chapter comes back, right? So, but you don't have to worry about maximizing that. There are so many like old Lufenias in the game. There's literally like impossible to run out of Lufenia chances that you need to get all these characters to get their Sublimate Cores, right? Their Ultima Cores. So don't worry about that. The one thing I'll recommend is that when you go on here, we'll see. Okay, so I can get into it. So if I click the quest tab here, right? What it will do is it will show you a bunch of Lufenias that you can do, and it'll give you a recommended party. There'll be a little synopsis on it, right? So here you can see Respite our Quagmires here. What I recommend you guys do though is if you want to make it easy on yourself, in the upper right you'll see there's a tab here for the date. What I would do is I would click on it and I would reverse the order so you get older fights first. And so what happens is with all these old fights at the top, like these are just normal Lufenias, so you can just coast and crush these. Some of them do have like kind of annoying mechanics that can mess you up if you're not careful, but for the most part, you can hop into these, use a burst phase, and basically kill them in one burst phase, and then basically however many people on your party will get it. So you see here on the right how this reliable partner one, it says 1 out of 3. That means that I've completed that and 1 slot has been used to get Ultima Cores from a character. So that means I could put a party of 2 new characters that need Ultima Cores, and then I could just throw in like a Garnet or some third busted character to carry them through, and then I could get those last 2 spots. But you can see there's all, like, look at all these Lufenias. Like, there's so many of them. You do not need to worry about trying to do the newest ones. And then down here, you can see ones that I've completed, and I filled all the slots. They're no longer available to earn Ultima Cores on, okay? So that's basically it. So the main ways you're earning these cores, once again, new C90 characters, get them to C90 and level them up to 90, and then just basically complete a Lufenia. And here's the thing, you just have to complete it. You don't even have to like get a perfect score on it. I think you just finish a Lufenia with them in the party and you're going to get it, right? So that's basically it. You earn your cores, and then here at the top, you can also get to the cast Sublimate thing here. Once again, choose the weapon that you want. I still have to decide, so this will be kind of fun. How about in the comments, you guys let me know which weapon do you think I should go for next. So I've already done dagger and sword. So out of everything available, what weapon do you think I should get next, or which weapon have you done? And tell me why you've done that weapon, because I'm curious. I did mine based on favorites, but some of you might do it for a different reason, right? So let me know what I should get next. I'm 10 cores away. I got to pick a weapon here. So right now I'm thinking maybe staff because I use Garnet a lot. Or I'm actually thinking maybe fist because snow is coming out and I really like Tifa. So maybe you guys help me pick. Should I do staff or fist? Let me know in the comments. But I think that's basically it, guys. I can't think. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, by the way. I can't think of anything else that has to do with Ultima weapons. Like an Ultima weapon, like I said, you can't sell it or anything. Don't sell a weapon that another character had that you're putting it over because you might need to trade that weapon out. But yeah, I think that's basically it. So anyways, guys, let me know in the comments if I forgot something. If you have another question about Ultima weapons that I did not answer, please let me know in the comments. And once again, let me know what Ultima weapon I should get next and which ones you've been working on. So anyways, I hope this beginner's guide helps. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one.